Welcome back, everyone who has been tuning into all of this. We just had, I would argue, a pretty fast day. I think it was a lot more fight back from Elevate than what we saw at a Flashpoint, but now we're going into set number 3. Cyclone, another team that was 12-0 during their online split, going up against Hype Unit, the number 2 team from the PML. So again, a bunch of players that you probably remember from when you started there, and of course should know, because I know you just hang around in the scene.
Well, I mean, I also had some of them at the Knight's house a couple days ago for the Chain Reaction podcast.
Oh, yeah?
Had some of them out on giving their opinions. They actually are a team that I think people originally thought got on the better side of the downfall Ferocity trade deal that happened earlier. I say trade deal. It wasn't a deal. Some people kind of just swapped teams, but people thought they ended up on the better side of it at first. But Sanguine kind of showed their dominance immediately after. As the season went on, Hype Unit kind of adapted, shifted, and they've been winning. I think they won last at 3-0, I believe I said last time. So
it's one of those big things. I think it was Stigma and Poison that got kind of swapped around through all of that. And there's the suit. That's what I've been looking at all day. I'm actually really happy to finally see that one in action. He was just chilling around, watching the games, making sure as they got set up. That is, the full suit. That's the thing that's impressive. You're rocking the plaid tie, the plaid jacket, and the plaid pants. Like, you've got the whole pattern.
Where did he get that? That's what I really want to know.
I
mean, I could ask him, but
he'll tell you.
I know he will.
You know the simple answer to everything about questions like that, Kresnik?
What?
The internet. Probably got it off the internet. Guess where I got this tie? Internet.
Is it the internet? It's a fantastic tie, by the way.
I love this tie.
You should.
I'm very, very happy with it. But hey, Cyclone, that is who we were just looking at. That was their coach that came through with that one. And they've got, again, a lot of players that have been throughout all of this, notably playing with a little bit of a different roster than they did throughout the entire time. Westside's going to be playing with them. But Slopodopoulos, not only one of my favorite names to say, but also probably one of the most impactful DPS players that we've seen on console. Notably, not one who's unwilling. Like, he loves pulling out Kinessa. He doesn't mind pulling out Strix. Like, he'll play whatever, you give him.
Yeah, and if you can play that on console, I think that's impressive. And it's great for, like, the flexibility, too. If you're one of the only players pulling that out, your drafts can be more unpredictable. You can just absolutely catch people off guard with it, especially on maps like this. I mean, I remember actually seeing him, I think, play Kin on this map, I believe, in one of the matches I casted. I don't want to sound like I'm making this up. I swear I'm not. No. I remember Dest, but I remember seeing it going on, and just being able to do that, I think, is really great for his team. And
I think that's one of the biggest things is having that flexibility, specifically from Slopodopoulos, but also having some prior LAN experience, some prior, I would say, everything from Smutny being able to come through. Someone who used to play, if you remember, a long time ago in the PGS for, I believe, Blazing Hussars at the time. Like, he's been a frontline player in the Paladin scene for a while. He has been playing this game for years, and I think we're going to see a lot from him today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's been here before. He's been on PC before, so the cross-play environment really isn't going to be too surprising for them. And I think he's performed well, having all that experience throughout time.
I think it's going to be a big matchup for them. So far, it's been an interesting split. Again, they were 12-0. They lost a few more maps than I think you would see out of some of the other console teams. I think 4 total all. They're 32 plus minus. Very solid, very dominating team. And I think also performing very well during the last console wars, being able to make it to the finals. The biggest question, I think, this time around is how they will fare against their opposition. We've already seen 2 PC teams come in, 2 PC teams move on. And the question is if Cyclone can take on Hype Unit, who I think is going to be a little stronger. That's probably where their mindset is now. And if I remember correctly, there are also a couple of the players that are running a little bit more mouse and keyboard. But hey, don't take it from me, take it from them. We're actually sitting down with the coach. I'm hoping we get more action on that suit as we go down to see how Cyclone's feeling before this set.
All right, guys, thank you very much. Down here in the Cyclone booth with none other than the man Beanie himself, dressed head to toe, looking good today.
Thank you.
Got the team all here. How are you guys feeling coming into this?
We're good. I'm personally a bit nervous because it's my first LAN, but everyone overall is pretty confident in this match.
It's good. You guys absolutely should be. Very dominant team throughout the split in the PCL. One thing we've kind of seen is sort of the transition between some players using the controller, some players flopping over to the opposite side, mouse and keyboard. How many of one or the other do you guys have here? I guess I see 2 or 3 across the board. What led to some of those decisions?
We just have 2 controllers, Dana and Welsh over there. Slop has played keyboards before, and I mean, Smutny's qualified for LAN on keyboards before, so it was a pretty natural transition for them.
It's comfortable.
Yeah.
It's comfortable anyway. Looking across the way, you guys got Hype Unit up first. How are you feeling about the matchup with them?
I feel confident. I've been competing with those guys for 2 years now, maybe, so I know them pretty well. Right. And I'm pretty confident that we know more or less what they're going to bring out.
A lot of the talk today has been sort of the console meta, the PC meta. Anything interesting maybe coming out in drafts for you guys? You don't have to spoil too much.
Probably, yeah.
He's got some stuff up his sleeve. Well, good luck. Thanks for talking with me. Best of luck to you guys. Let's send it back to the desk.
If you're ever wondering how to answer that question without giving anything away, that's the way to do it.
I should do that next time.
Yeah.
I never know what to say to
something
when they ask
interesting,
me.
but that's all you need to know.
Like, what are you going to do to counter it? And it was like, oh, I just hope they're not listening to this, I guess. It's probably the only way.
But that's, as they said, coming through. A lot of competition. Players that have played on mouse and keyboard before. Players who have been in the PGS before. And I guess because of that, some players that have played against members of Hype Unit before. Specifically, the interesting, I think, trade-off that is going to be coming in today is they won't have Jay, who has been their point tank for pretty much the entire online split. They have William355, so absolutely someone who can be shuffled in for that. Someone who looks incredible. But, I mean, when you're on a team with T-Mac, when you're on a team with Tay, with Stigma, with Poison, everyone's going to look incredible.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, they have a ton of players from all different experiences, like Poison previously in the PPL.
Yeah.
For Renegades, I thought he performed very, very well that season overall,
absolutely.
especially for
Hands
a
down.
debut season. I think he played fantastic. Not returning to the PPL since, but he has been a force in the PGS through various different teams, and I think he's been a force for Hype Unit as well throughout the season.
He's one of those DPS players that if you go back and watch the games he played on even before this, before Nation Power, before Hype Unit, before any of this, when he was on Renegades, those are hands down some of the most impressive games. Like it will almost blow your mind to know that this guy isn't back in the PPL. And that, I think, is one of the biggest things. Ex-PPL player and Poison being able to come through. But also kind of catching my eye again, Tay has been someone who has been very, very prominent as an aggressive frontline. But the player that has won my heart, just because he plays Kness on Bright Marsh, has to be who's going to be kind of the DPS duo, the counterpart here to Poison, and that is going to be Stigma. What is it, I guess, that gives Stigma, his Stigma? What is it that gives him the power that he's been able to bring?
He's always been like a sleeper in this scene, you know? He always played on like the bottom PGS team or just on a random team where you'd meet him in a pub and he would just destroy you and be like, who is Stigma? He's been around forever, but, you know, since joining Ferocity, moving to Hype Unit after the whole shift happened, I mean, he's really made a standout name for himself. He would definitely, he's a LAN rookie, so unproven in this environment, but, I mean, if he performs the way he did online here, that's a scary Stigma, especially with the LAN upgrade. a couple of
LAN rookies, I believe, on this team as well, but at the same time, a couple of veterans from that point. They've been playing again for a long time. You had mentioned on Cyclone that they had been coming around. But I guess I want to kind of shift the conversation. The damage is going to do really well. They both have performed well in the past, either on LAN and the PPL, wherever you want to look at them. But Tay and William355, I guess, is where my conversation is going to be directed, because Tay's been playing with Jay this entire time. Do you think changing that in is going to be big difference, or do you think that it's going to be a plug and play?
I think it's going to be an upgrade only purely because of, it's a less risky roster, right? Like, you come in with Jay, that's a LAN rookie in Stigma true. And Jay and Tay. That's it could be a little shaky depending, but, looking at now bringing Will in, someone who's, upset the #1 team before, that's a huge upgrade.
Well, hey, we can throw it down to someone who happens to share a name with me, the guy who's coming in as the sub right now for Hype Unit. We have Dave standing by with William355.
Thank you very much, guys. Down here in the Hype Unit booth now with William355 standing next to me. Everyone's here. All the traveling is done. How's the team feeling coming into your first game at the MSI?
We're feeling good going into this matchup. We're obviously this is our first match. We're thinking that we could take this easy within 4 games or so.
You think? The trend so far has been 3-0s for the minor league teams. Do you think that trend continues here? You guys maybe feeling a 3-0?
Ideally, we're looking for a 3-0, but obviously we're not going to underestimate Cyclone. We know that they have strats prepared for us, and we know that Beanie, their coach, has a lot of data on us. So we're going to go in trying our best and looking for the obvious 3-0 sweep. But if not,
looking at that, you talk about maybe some strats. Is there anything maybe specific, just because they're a console team? I know they have a few guys on mouse and keyboard, but looking towards drafts, is there anything that you maybe expect to come out from them over there?
We did see the Elevate 3 tank double healer stuff. We're watching out for that. We'll try to set up our bans so that we don't get destroyed by that comp. We'll have something to destroy those tanks off point. And obviously, we also know that the console really likes their hit scan champions: Talus, Koga, Victor, Dayra. we got to watch out for those.
Feeling confident for sure. Well, best of luck to you guys. Thank you very much for chatting with me. Let's send it back to the desk and get this set started.
I don't think William355 has ever not looked stylish. That's the first thing when I saw him again wearing the sunglasses. Like, all I could remember is flashbacks to the last time I've seen him on LAN, where I think last time he had a scarf.
I was literally going to say,
kind of missing the scarf.
I
honestly.
wish it was cold enough for the scarf. Maybe he just saves it for the bathroom here.
Just saves it. Okay,
if you guys don't know,
the
bathroom is freezing, and it only has cold water.
Also only has cold water. It's one of those things I have to get the blood pumping in my fingers again afterward. Like you get stiff. Either way, everything looking pretty good. Seems calm on Hype Unit, but still prepared. And I think that's the biggest thing. Like, Sanguine seemed very calm, and they knew they were going to win.